Hollywood Matt Connelly with the double biceps. It is in the contract a legal requirement every single time we appear on camera. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Hollywood Matt Connelly Live with the double biceps. It is in the contract a legal requirement every single time we appear on camera. We are appearing on camera right now with a Long Island's own. It is the Hat himself. It is Dan Centrella. Hello to you, sir.
What's happening? Not as good as you, but you know, I can't do the double right now.
That's right. You got to do it one at a time with the phone. Yeah,
I got to hold the phone here. I'm multitasking today. I'm talking to you across the world, and I'm working the bar right now.
Yeah, that's right. You're at work. You're in one of the pubs over in Long Island at the moment.
Actually, I'm in New York City. I'm in a speakeasy. So this is like anything goes in here. I got my boys, they're watching the college football game, smoking a little weed, enjoying some good time. You know how it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And we had a few nights like that over when I was staying with you in Long Island a couple months ago.
I miss you big friggin' brute.
Oh yeah, I had a good time. I appreciate you having me there. It was insane to me that I got so much support from you guys. I mean, yourself and Dan Schwartz. Taking me around places and just letting me stay at your house. And I'd never met you before. I'd never spoken to you before.
That's the New York hospitality, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I very much appreciate it. And you've done the same for a couple of arm wrestlers since then. I think last time we spoke to you, you had, who was that, Logan or somebody that was staying with you?
Yeah, I had Mateus and Ian staying with me, and for our event that we had, for the Long Island Challenger Series. And I got Robert Kelly also. So yeah, it's like an arm B&B, like Dan Schwartz said.
Yes, I was the first.
That's the good thing about this community. We're all do the same thing, and we all want the same thing. So.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, for sure. So you've been working a lot with major arm wrestling championships with Mac, with Ian Carnegie and Mateus and all the guys that are doing a great job with that there, the different table designs, the different rule sets. And you've not only been sort of competing in these tournaments, but you've been helping with assisting the setting up and the production side of things as well.
Yes, correct. And we can't forget Mr. Matt Oliver and Mr. JJ Jackson, because they're two of the big parts right now. They're actually the ones that make everything go around, and Ian is really the matchmaker. And I'm just glad that I hooked up with them. And basically, I saw the writing on the wall. I loved it. It's faster paced. It's a little different. It's arm wrestling, but it's a different type of arm wrestling. That way, the purists can't get mad if they don't want to. If they don't want to compete, we won't get mad at them. But this is the way I know it's wall rules, but the table makes a big difference. So, like you said, we had our Challenger Series. I mean, I started with Picton. The first Challenger Series, we had 73 matches in Canada. And that's what made me fall in love with the Mac style. All right. And that was 73 matches. We did 73 matches. We took breaks, and we did a tournament all in 6 hours. It was the same amount of time as it took for them to do Winter Blast.
Wow.
So, yeah. And then we had the second Challenger Series in London, which was awesome, which we had, I think, right around 40 matches, just around 40, 45 matches. And I loved it. And then I said, I have to bring this to the States. Oh, thank you, Big Rig. Big Rig said it was 75. It was 75 matches picked in. And Big Rig is awesome. We'll talk about him. But yeah, and then I had my Long Island Challenger Series where we had 37 super matches, and it was great. And but we also did Dan Schwartz stole a book out of your page with that, Last Man Standing, and we had
Yeah,
people that loved it. We had people that loved it, and we called it the Power Hour, but then we turned it into the Power Half Hour. And Blake Bouillon went 68-0 and won
wow,
$300. Excuse me,
that's
I got to work
insane.
now.
No,
What's
you're
up,
all
guys?
right. Well, yes, as we said, Dan is at work at the moment, but he's talking about the 1 hour King of the Table event we have coming up here in AWE on January 18th, next Sunday. Last Man Standing, it is called. Basically, it's a 1 hour King of the Table. Whoever gets the most pins in that hour will walk away with $5,000. And whoever is in the king position on the hour mark will have $2,500. So we've got some of the biggest guys in the Southern Hemisphere coming along to that. We've got Mata Warengi Heta Morris from New Zealand at 165 kilos, or I don't know what that is in pounds, 300 and something pounds. We've got Mario Tabakis, we've got Bowen, we've got Barker, we've got Paul Coote, we've got some of the best guys around. Anyway,
So, somebody come over. Where I'll come over, huh?
that's all right.
Yeah. Sorry, I
Yes.
know it's one
No,
of
you're
those
right.
things. I wasn't supposed to be here tonight, but I got to fulfill obligations even for you. So, but yeah,
I
all
appreciate
I
it.
have to say is, like, let me tell you that I know I heard you talking about your Last Man Standing. It's one
Yeah.
hell of a. If you have to have more seasoned guys if you want to go for an hour. That's what I learned. You're better
Yeah.
off going for a half hour because people lose interest if they keep losing. Is what
Right.
I've learned. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That's why we turned it into the power. Pull the door. Okay. That's why we called it the power half hour.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair
So,
enough. Yeah.
but
We've
we loved the whole style. But it was a long day. It was a long day. How
did
we
you have
doing, guys?
many people like dropping out
I'm
halfway
doing.
through? Oh, that's okay. He's at work. That's all right. We're working around it. It's all good. But last man standing, yes, the 1 hour King of the Table event should be a lot of fun. We've got some of the best guys, as I said, from Southern Hemisphere coming down. And it is interesting that Dan did bring that point up that people do get sick of losing. That's why they shorten theirs to half an hour. But I think with the quality of the competitors that we've got here for our last man standing event, there is, I know, 4 or 5 guys that are going to be very, very tough to beat, but they will probably be going against each other a lot. So it should be a lot of fun. We've got French McGee is in the chat here. She says GLLS, which I'm not sure what that is. Girls, maybe. And she says howdy. Okay. Did you accidentally hit that message before you sent it, French? But no, we're looking forward to that event. It should be a lot of fun. And yeah, it's $7,500 on the line. And it was interesting because when I was over in New York and I was staying with Dan Centrella, the man who's not on the screen at the moment, but he's at work, Dan Schwartz, who is one of the arm wrestlers from New York as well. And they put together. I was talking to him in the car about the Last Man Standing event because we've run it one previous time, and he loved the idea, and he adapted some of the rules and made some changes and stuff to bring out their own power power hour. It was a typo. I thought it might have been. Oh, that's all good. Yeah. So if anyone is in New York, there is a plethora of tournaments going on there. When I was there, was I think how long was I? Maybe a month in Long Island, and there was a tournament every single weekend within driving distance. So we went up to Connecticut, down to New Jersey. There was things happening in New York. There was clubs all over. My arm was absolutely destroyed from trying to keep up with the amount of arm wrestling that was going on. So I think I did 3 tournaments in 3 weekends, as well as all the training sessions and trying to meet with people. And yeah, so it was a lot of fun. And there is a huge amount of arm wrestling. If you're an arm wrestling fan and you're looking to get involved in the sport, New York and that whole tri-state area has an enormous amount of clubs. And not only do they have a lot of clubs, they've got a few different promotions that are there with different rule sets, so you can sort of pick and choose
Yep.
your favorite, or maybe you can compete in a few different ones. So we've got the MAC, the Major Arm Wrestling Championship, with a different design on their tables and different rules in regarding the elbows and. Yeah, I think one of the rules is that if you slip in the first round, then every round from then on starts in straps, which I like. Especially, I mean, you get two top rollers against each other, the hands just go straight apart, and it just saves everyone time. It's like, look, okay, we'll give you a chance at the start to take your grip and hold on, but usually you just see whip. And it's like, all right, we're not having that again. We're not going to waste our time setting everybody up and getting it ready to go just for them to slip in. So,
Yeah. Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So
And
yeah, I'll jump in here, and we have a lot. And this year there's going to be even a lot more events. I got my first event. Well, my first event is going to be this weekend. Next weekend, it's going to be at Rochester. It's the MAC event, and there's also a big practice in Maryland. So it's either I want to drive 7 hours or 4 hours. What else do we have? We have Steve's. The next event that I'm really focusing on is during my birthday, which is February 7th. My birthday's the 12th. So we have my club has a bunch of guys on some super matches, and we're all going to invade that tournament. So, like I said, like you said, there's so many clubs around here. It's amazing, and this year it's just going to get better and a lot more events this year. It's insane. It's
yeah,
insane.
absolutely.
I don't know about you, but arm wrestling is picking up steam, especially everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. We took the tables to the beach on Sunday, just gone, for a training session out there, and the amount of people that came up to give it a go who'd never seen it before, or they may have been watching it on YouTube or whatever, but there was a lot of people that came up that were like, "Oh, yeah, I've been watching this, or I've seen this," and it's like, okay, this is good. This is a good sign, because usually people go, "I didn't know this was a thing."
Exactly. Or they go, "Are you serious?" Like, and then like they're like, Do you really compete?" Yeah. And then the women, and then once the women, like I had 4 yoga instructors last night. As you can see on my story, they loved arm wrestling, and they're like, "We're definitely going to come back." And I said,
Oh,
"Well,
great.
they're going to come back to the bar, but they want to arm wrestle." I said, "Well, here, this is how you get involved with the arm wrestling."
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So when
you
with
know.
Mac and their different designs of tables and rule sets, I know that they're still changing and adjusting things as they go, which is a really cool thing, because it does show it's like we're trying to find the best method that works here, that works not only for the audience perspective to be able to have something that's entertaining, but fair for the athletes as well. When you first started, did you start with Mac, or did you start on a traditional WAF table?
I started on a traditional laugh table in say June. I went to Mac 3 in December. We had my first Mac table by the end of January, February. So, needless to say, I've been most of my time has been on a Mac table.
Yeah, yeah.
I have you saw the equipment, so I have great regular tables, and but the Mac table is made really well. So, and it's a big difference. Like I did a tournament on the Mac table, and Big Rig is here. He'll laugh, and my elbow popped off the pad, and he goes, "That wouldn't happen on a Mac table," and I laughed. But it is what it is.
Yeah, that's right. So for people who aren't sure of what we're talking about, a traditional WAF table, which you'll see in a lot of promotions around the world, is very flat, and then they have the pad sitting on top of that. Whereas Mac has a dip in the center, like a concaved area with a very large area for your elbow to go. So you have the ability to really move your arm a lot further in any of the directions, which is still fair because it's the same amount of distance for both athletes, but it adds a lot of different elements to the game.
Yeah. Yep. It's a big difference. It's a faster. It helps for the faster pace too. I don't know. It made me better on a regular table when you're actually paying attention and strength wise, but the size wise, yeah, it's not gonna. It definitely once you're used to that, you don't get used to it.
Yeah, just trying to fix my screen
You
here.
see it now?
Yeah, I've got a nice black spot on my face. That's right. I'm just trying to see if I can fix that up there. What's going on here with this? That's too much. No, that way. Yeah, that's good. Okay, let's do that. There we go. All right, I'm back. Sorry. All of a sudden, my face was half missing. I looked like Skeletor. That's the problem with running, the virtual camera. Had to set up a few different settings on my stream recently. Just I wanted to use a green screen, which I've got in the background, but then getting the lighting and the settings all correct can be quite difficult. But you get fun moments like that where all of a sudden your face disappears or you look very, very
All right,
strange.
my partner came in, so I'll be able to step out behind the bar for a few minutes in a little while. So
Oh,
just bear
fantastic.
with me. Bear with me for 5 more minutes or so.
Yeah, no worries
So,
at all. That's fine. Yeah, so
but
if you can tell us
but
about the event that you ran or that you were coordinating with that whole ton of matches, and it was in New York on Mac tables.
oh yes, that was the shot callers the shot callers challenger series, and we had 37 matches, and it was all people. I had 15 people from Canada drive down, and we had all local guys go at it. And Canada, we saw how strong New York and East Coast guys were, and we saw how strong Canada guys were. So it was awesome. It was a fun day. 37 matches in 3.5, 4 hours. It was awesome.
Oh yeah,
Two tables. It was fun. A lot of fun. No injuries, thank God, and everybody had a great time. Good food. We had a food truck. We had a tent. We had after pulling. It was just a lot of stuff going on, and it flowed nice. Like you said, there's learning curves. We learned from it, and to the next one's going to be even better.
yeah, for sure. So it ran. How many matches did you end up having on that? 37 or something.
We had 37. I was in two of them. I faced Jake the Beefcake. So,
Oh,
do you
that's
mind if
right.
I take 10 minutes? I'm on a podcast. Okay. I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'm sorry. Now I'm. Huh? Yeah, it's right there. Joshua. Joshua, yep. Uh huh. Yeah, that's 1,000. Okay, hold on. Sorry, guys.
All right. No, you're right, mate. No, that's fine. We appreciate you for making the effort. I mean, not many people would be,
Yeah.
trying to work around
Okay.
it.
Yeah, now I can sit down here and now I can focus on whatever. It's not too quiet. It's quiet down here. We're good.
All right. Fantastic. All right. So tell us, so who's big rig Eric?
Big Rig Eric is one of. He's from New York. He's definitely a big rig. He's six. Don't shoot me if I tell you wrong at all. He's 6'8", probably. I want to say 340 to 380. I don't want to embarrass him, but he's a big mf'er.
Nice.
And he's a great dude, strong dude. He's definitely the next to challenge for a super heavyweight in Mac. I mean, he's up there. If you put him against Rick Heidebrick after he heals up, I think Eric will beat him. Well, I mean, he may have beat Rick already. I don't remember. I
Wow.
don't know if he faced him at the first Challenger Series. Quote me on that, Eric, if you're listening. But he's a monster. He's a monster. He's big, and he's a kid. He's 24, 25 years old, and
Wow.
he went through. He was at the last tournament with JJ, and he wasn't expecting to have to go against JJ and vice versa. And
Oh.
it was a good time. He's like me. We just want to have a good time, and we train like animals. And oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, Rich. Okay, and
That's all right.
but
They're only,
oh,
only 22 years old.
he's
Wow.
22. He's a kid. What are you
Wow.
drinking over there? You drinking another friggin' monster?
Yes.
We got to get them to sponsor you, bro. That's all you friggin' drank over here.
Was that and sugar-free Red Bull? No, it was
The sugar-free red.
sugar-free.
Oh no, yeah,
Yeah,
sugar-free
root beer,
root beer.
root beer. Yeah, yeah. Because we don't get that here. I was like, oh man, I got to take advantage. I was getting case after case. Sarsaparilla is what we call it, but
Yes,
yeah, yeah, root beer is over there.
yeah.
And so
So now
with
let's.
with I was going to say, like, your competitive history recently, you've entered in a whole bunch of tournaments. You've been over to Canada. You've done tournaments here locally. How is your record going?
Like I say, I mean, I have wins. I mean, let's see. So we'll start at Picton. When I went to the Challenger Series, I have a left hand win and a right hand loss. I lost both my matches at the London Challenger Series, but they were close. And then the Challenger Series on Long Island, I won both of my matches against Jake the Beefcake. Um, but then the local tournaments, I have a left hand pin, not win, a pin on Michael Hawks. That's my claim to fame right now because he's really good. He's pretty good around here. And that was lefty. That was the last tournament I went to, and I got humbled though. There was a lot of like JJ Jackson was in my class. I had a lot of killers in my class. It was supposed to be a smaller tournament, and I thought I was gonna rack it all up, and it went the opposite way.
So what happened with
But
Jake the Beefcake? Tell me about that match.
oh, beefcake, that was good. Those were good matches. We did left and right, and but he got me, I think, two times left, and then I came back on the left, and I beat him. And I said, well, right's different, and then right, right was no, he had no chance. But he
Wow.
knows he's already. I mean, I have like 40 pounds on him, so that was just when I was in Canada. He's like, when I come to New York, I'm going to pull you. I'm like, all right, let's do it. And it was more of a fun match, and because he was announcing, and so it was fun. I mean, I do arm wrestling more for the fun and for the for the social aspect, as you can see.
Absolutely. Dave Stockbridge from AWE, my business partner and friend, is in the chat. He says, well. He was trying to call me a second ago. I said, I'm on a podcast.
Oh, what's up, Dave? I got his attention now.
That's right. That's right. We're talking with Dan the Hat Centrella. Who was it that gave you that nickname again?
That would be. Remember, you met him. Remember Big Joey Yaros from Jersey?
Oh, yes.
He's the announcer for '98. He did all the MC work for Steve in '98 when you were up here.
Yep.
Yeah, he was. We were in. Were we in? I don't think we were in Jersey. I think it was when I was in East First West in Chicago. And oh no, it was Atlantic City. It was the first East First West, and that's when he goes, "Yo, you're the Hat." And I'm like, "All right," and then that's how it just stuck. Yo, the Hat. I'm like, "All right."
Do you feel
So
pressure at all that you have to wear a hat no matter where you go now?
oh no, I mean, I got summer hats, and they go, "I never knew they made summer hats like that." I said, "Well, that's my thing."
What's it
Oh
called?
no,
The
I love it.
style Boston
It's a
Scally? Is that?
scally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yep. Boston scally. I just bought two more, so I got 33 of them now.
Oh my god! Because you were looking don't they release a new one every month? And you were like waiting, you're refreshing the page
every
to see what it was.
every week, every week.
Yeah. Oh, and they have a new one every week.
Yeah, well, I don't buy them, but they release a new one every week.
Wow. Okay, and you're up to
So yeah,
33.
Yeah, I was good. I waited the whole year. I didn't buy any really until the Christmas, like the winter time, because I didn't. I'm like, no, I gotta wait. I gotta behave. And then I'm like, oh no, I really like these. I really like these. I'll treat myself.
Oh, fantastic! So
But
what's the?
I can say that Ian's wearing a gray hat, and he got that from me. So I'm proud to say Ian's hat was my hat.
Fantastic. Oh man, yeah. It's one of those things, isn't it? When you start a collection of something, and you're really like, oh, I like this one, but oh, I'd love to get that one, and then you're missing this one. If I only get 3 more, then I'll have that whole set, and you just sort of get trapped in this cycle of continuing to buy more and more, and then before you know it, you've got hundreds of something or another.
Oh, and when you saw when I do something balls to the wall. You don't just buy a $400 arm wrestling table. You spend $5,000 on equipment.
Well, some of those machines that you've got were absolutely crazy. They were really handy, and I haven't seen anything like that. Were they custom made, or were you able to find them online somewhere?
Believe it or not, those are, well, not the, most of this stuff is first the made. I was the one who had all of that stuff made for me. And now that it's been, made and people see it, mithril strength, pull heavy, he's blowing up. Everybody's buying his machine. As you can see, what's his LW, Paul Lynn, Michael Todd, Devin, he's selling them all, and believe it or not, I help him come up with most of these designs because I said I want a machine that does this, this, and this.
Yeah,
and it took about 3 months of R&D, and then he came up with something, and then I said, well, I need something because I have the machine here, and the one end is being useless. Can we adapt something? And he put something, and he created it, and now that's how his whole new machine came to play. I gave him that whole idea.
wow.
So every time I see one, I'm like, well, at least I know that it was my brainstorming, and let's do this, and this that came out, and that's because that's the reason he made it, and it's blowing up. So
yeah,
I love it. It definitely changed my game and all my boys. If we didn't have that, we wouldn't be where we are, arm wrestling wise right now.
Yeah. So tell me about the machine, or the people who were watching. I'm not sure what you're referring to. It was a single handle, and you had back pressure, and yeah.
Well, we have it's like side pressure, sides. So it definitely get to definitely pull back and go sideways. Actually, Artem Morozov helped create that with Mithril because that's his athlete. So and we all know how those Europeans train. Those Europeans train hardcore and fast, and this stuff holds up to how they train, and because it came from Kazakhstan, all the equipment's from Kazakhstan. Yeah.
Wow.
So
okay.
Yeah.
Was it expensive?
I was going to say it was $1,000 to ship it from Kazakhstan. So put that in
shipping always kills it.
But I got 2 full tables, the pole, all. I mean, it was a lot of stuff. So I mean, yeah, it was a lot of weight. And that's what kills it,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Well, Dave,
but I'm a firm believer in is you have to have the right equipment to. Hey, I guess that's your partner.
That's Dave. He's jumped in to say hello. Dan Centrella is almost went with the wrong one. Dan Centrella is the man who was very kind enough to let me stay with him over in Long Island, New York for I think 11 days, and then I came back after I did the TV show in San Diego for another week. And he's very involved in this sport of arm wrestling, and in particular with the MAC, the Major Arm Wrestling Championship. We've got an event coming up not too far in Rochester. What date have you got for that, Dan?
That's JJ Jackson's event, and that's January 17th up in Rochester. It's a small little intimate event. It's just a regular, I think he's got 10 super matches, but John Milne is making his return to the table against Michael Hawks at that event. So that's the big news there. And they're running a small tournament there. So that's going to be that event. Yeah. But the same day in Maryland, Paul Lynn, Toddzilla, Brad Grundy, they're having a huge practice. So There's
Ah,
a lot going on that one day. So decisions have to be
uh,
made soon.
that's the thing with you guys in America. You get bloody spoiled with the amount of stuff that's happening there. I mean, even in just your area, there's tournaments every weekend. There's practices all over the place, and some of the big names in the sport are all around locally. Like you can go train with this guy, this guy, this guy. It's like this is so foreign to us, especially with Dave. But if you were there, you would have been jumping all over the opportunities.
Oh, I remember
Oh,
you mentioning on a. You can hear me, okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember you mentioning like it's just surreal because you'll be somewhere, whether it's in New York or wherever, but an hour down the road there'll be like a catch up with some of the biggest names of the sport, and the guys will be like, "Yeah, it's an hour away. Can't be bothered." It's like
Yeah.
it's like we would drive an hour to get to training, like and not think anything of it, and so just absolutely amazing, and that proximity to of some of the big names, but some of the rising talent as well, and that you've got just a melting pot of arm wrestling talent that's happening there, and it's kind of taken for granted a little bit. I feel by the guys over there that are it's just I
I
guess
know.
everyday life for you guys.
Exactly. That's what it's coming down to. It's like I want to do something and every weekend it's like, oh shit, what am I doing this weekend? Where am I going? I'm going an hour here, 2 hours that way, 3 hours that way, and you name it. I got, we got big tournaments all over. Now, once the weather gets even better, he saw it, and like you
Yeah.
said, it is. We do take it for granted. But when we want to practice, that's what sucks. It's like trying to get everybody together is the hard part. Like yeah, we might be scattered all over the place, but trying to get everybody at once, that's the hard part.
Like herding cats. And I was just eavesdropping in on the conversation before, and it sounds like you're quite the innovator. So I'm really keen to get your thoughts on this. If we were to go whack $1 million on the table, what would you do with $1 million in the sport of arm wrestling right now? What would you do to make a big impact?
First and foremost, have a compound that can have events, have housing for said athletes. Um, everything everything in one area. That way, people can experience the whole experience from practice to tournaments to everything there, along with top of the line equipment and just everything top of the line because you want to get it out there for the content. And then if money's not an object, you just have people come down and just put the shows on, let people come in and watch it. You
So,
know what I'm saying? If you
so
weren't trying to make money, that's how I would do it.
So when you say compound, I am also imagining that there'd be armed guards, and if any arm wrestlers tried to leave, there would just be they would be taken out. That's
Well, yeah, that too.
yeah.
Correct.
That I mean that adds another dimension to the reality TV
Like
show
no,
concept.
you live here now. This is your house now.
You can never leave
Now you
the
can't
Hotel
leave.
California of
That's
arm wrestling.
right. Now get back on the table. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. And
Uh,
but if you how do you see if you had up $1 million down, what's the pathway to actually making money out of that then? Do you feel like that would be compelling viewing, like from a reality TV perspective, or do you feel like it's just you're going to find another big name there, the next Devin Larratt, and that'll be what draws attention into the sport? What's your theory there?
Me? All right. I
Yep, this
think
is all you. It's your $1 million now. You've got the armed guards, you got the compound, you got the $1 million.
well, what I would do is I would on a VIP, IP pullers that are either and that want to make it, that are hungry, that are trying to get ranked or whatever, and we offer money, and you make a sick card, like a very VIP, but like say 10 matches, and you make it affordable for everybody. And as long as everybody's happy, you know what I'm saying? Like you make it a night, you make it more intimate. Yes, we want to make it big. I get it, but we can also make it small and do it more often. And I think that's what we need to do. We like league where it would be every week or every second Friday of the month. We come to the place and there's super matches. We can see it. We can understand it. We can pull. It has to be more structured, and that's what needs to come down more, in my eyes. I think there's two aspects. See, you got my mind going now, so I'm thinking 18 different ways. Because there's two different ways you can do it. You can do it in quantity or you can do it in quality, in my opinion. You can get a whole bunch of
What's the
people.
sweet spot? What's the sweet spot if you weren't doing it in between the quality and the quantity? What's the sweet spot? Do you think?
As long as if money is not an object, say 20 to 25 matches is perfect for say 4 hours for people to
Okay.
get to watch and to be involved. That's what I'm saying. I've put on 37 matches. I've been there. I've seen it. People love it, and that's great for the puller. But what about people that just want to watch the arm wrestling? They get bored. That's so.
Yes.
If you want to cater to the arm wrestler, that's where you cater to higher end businessmen or something like that, where you can have a bunch of guys to come in and you make it an event like that, and then you showcase the arm wrestling that way, as opposed to having, all right, you're going to get your own content. Let's do 40 matches, and we're all just going to hang out. Because
Yeah.
it's to me that's the way of the world right now. It's either going super match style or very VIP, event type of thing. Tournaments are tournaments, but there's a lot of them now. So the turnout, I don't know, is going to be the big numbers. I think it's going to be a lot less numbers, but with more quality events.
Yeah,
So
it reminds me of.
when I think, sorry, go. Sorry,
Oh, I was going to say, it just reminds me of. I don't know. I've talked about this a few times with the UFC. When I started watching it, but they had an event probably every 3 months, and it was a big deal. You'd go around someone's house, there'd be 30 people there. You had printouts of the fight card. You knew every single fighter that was going to be competing. You'd all watch the entire card and have a few drinks, have lunch, whatever, and it was a lot of fun. And then it just became oversaturated. They were doing it every weekend, and then people you go to the thing and instead of 30 people there's 5 people, and then eventually it's like, oh, I'm not doing it this week, no, oh, I'm skipping that one, or this is I think there is that danger of oversaturating a market with your
Correct.
either stuff. And I think what they did really well was putting it in front of as many people as they could for free with the Ultimate Fighter series. So that was every week, but it was the, I guess, amateur level of it. They were trying to make it into the UFC, so they were still able to use that platform to promote their bigger shows. But yeah, it's quite an interesting balance.
Yeah, well, that's really the basis of how Ian and Matt and JJ came up with the idea of what the Challenger Series was supposed to be. It's supposed to be a feeder system, so it's supposed to get more eyes in and people that don't have a chance to get on a big card, or people that just want to have a good time and they want their own content to promote themselves. That's what the Challenger Series is for. And but then you go to a bigger MAC event, like look at Dustin Jelliff. He started at the Challenger Series. He won his matches. He won his match at MAC 4. Then they put him on and he beat Alan Ford. Now he's a champion. So it's like you said, it like oversaturation, it will kill things. So you got to do it smart. That's why consistency is the key. Do it 2 times a month. And if people want to come, they're going to come. And if they can't get in, well, you got to wait till the next time. You already made your set amount of money. So in that aspect, let's go. Let's just arm wrestle. You guys should know we're here. You should have got here early or bought your tickets. Then you come in next time. And next time's not next week. It's in 2 weeks. Deal with it. And that's what you got to do. And well, listen, I'm from New York. I tell people at the door, I got no room here. You're coming tomorrow. You know what I mean? And they're like, all right.
You sounded so New York then when you said that. Like, forget about it. You're out of here next week. We've got a great suggestion in here from PS6PV who says, open a live stream gym with different people stopping by and like online radio stations too. Thoughts on that one, Dave?
I've got a lot of thoughts. I really enjoy. I like that idea. I think that getting it in front into people's hands through different mediums is really really important. I don't feel like arm wrestling is a YouTube sport. You know, it's where the YouTube's the go-to, where people are going to get their information, they're getting their news, they're getting their updates, so they're finding out what happened at the last event. That's where they're going. And what arm wrestling hasn't done very well is find alternative channels, because I'll only be on YouTube at home in the evening. I don't watch a lot of TV, but I'll jump on, and in that maybe hour or so before I go to bed, I might tune in and see what's going on in the world of arm wrestling and politics or whatever else is going on that I'm interested in, at the world news, whatever's going on. I'll go. That's what I'll spend. But
whatever rabbit hole you go down.
whatever rabbit hole, whatever conspiracy theory I need to find out more about. And then when but I spend a lot of time in the car, and I would like, there's a lot of good audio that I could be listening to about our sport, that I could catch up on more and find out about what's going on, that I don't, because it's not in a audible podcast form, for instance. And whether it's finding out from Pradeep what's happening, or getting an update on his, no one's really doing that very well at the moment, and I don't think we do that very well as a sport. So I do like that idea of a radio station. I also like the idea of having a 15 by 15 foot platform made. We're talking about unlimited budgets, but made out of gold maybe, and a golden arm wrestling table. And we all know that the sport, like, basically no one wants to watch unless it's Devin Larratt, really. I mean, so finding another human athlete seemingly it's very difficult, very difficult. So I would say, like, getting guys competing not against another human, but maybe against a trained gorilla. So you've got a golden platform, golden arm wrestling table, an arm wrestling trained gorilla, and people, and maybe not a full grown gorilla, because that, like, the gorilla's going to be like, but so maybe like a juvenile, like a baby gorilla, like, so it's fair.
Oh, so
And then,
like Hollywood.
yeah. And how gorillas, like, as humans, like, we can balance pretty well, but gorillas are like this, like, they're not very good. So that platform is linked to a helicopter. And so the helicopter, as they're arm wrestling, and as the gorilla, like, to make things a little bit easier, like a handicap for the gorilla, especially if the gorilla's growing and getting better at arm wrestling, to make things a little bit, the helicopter takes off. And so, if just to make things a little more easy, I think that's watchable. I think that'll get attention.
I would watch it.
I've been,
Yeah, but then we have all the animal activists in the United States, and they'll get mad that you're gonna be, that you're hurting the gorilla's feelings by arm wrestling them. You know what I mean? So you got to worry about all those people.
Giving him
Yeah,
a job.
exactly. We got
Obviously,
plenty
we
of
wouldn't
those.
do it
We
in
got plenty of those. We got
Washington
plenty of
State,
those.
right? That wouldn't make sense. We wouldn't want to do it around Portland or any of those areas where those people might be. But so we want to keep it away from certain markets. But yeah. But I reckon it's something like that in Alaska. So
You would think something like, but I mean, like you said though, you do need something. And we do, like everybody says, there has to be something in arm wrestling. Marv, who created Over the Top, I've spoken to him numerous times. He's said arm wrestling needs that catch, that attitude, like Stone Cold Steve Austin back in WWF back in the day. Everybody knew. You said wrestling, you knew Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like, you knew The Undertaker, you knew Shawn Michaels. Like, we need to get personalities. Not ego. You need personalities. There's a difference.
Yeah.
And that's need on the table, and we need to expose that. Like, that's the next big thing. That's, like, in my opinion.
That's probably more reasonable than a gorilla on a golden arm wrestling.
I really wish whatever you took, I'd like some of that, because it would give me some cool ideas.
It
But
has been very
Dave,
hot here the last couple of days, so yeah, it's been like it was over 50 degrees in my car yesterday, so 51
wow.
degrees on
In
Celsius. What's
Celsius
that
or
in
I mean, hold on.
Fahrenheit, well, it's like
Celsius or
100,
Fahrenheit?
110,
That's
115, something like
3,000
Yeah,
that.
degrees Fahrenheit.
Jesus. Yeah, and it's 28 degrees Fahrenheit here. It's fucking cold.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. It's like
Yeah,
just the opposite.
it's cold. It's the
It's
Wow.
opposite.
winter over
You
there.
guys are sweating your ass off. I'm freezing my ass off.
I did have a hat on and it burnt off. So I
Yeah,
had
well,
to,
yeah.
yeah.
I froze my head.
Uh,
All my hair froze and fell out.
just this
So now,
morning, it
hey,
happened just this
tell
morning.
me about so how Australian arm wrestling and AWE. How's that coming? I mean, I know you have an event coming up,
We do have an event
or did
coming
it
up.
pass?
It's
Okay.
not this Sunday, but next Sunday, and we'll be releasing that most likely the week thereafter. So we're just going through the final the floor plan there and getting that all organised to send over to the team. So we the path that Matt and I have taken has been one where we in Australia, there's a few different ways to make money out of sport. There doesn't seem to be any way to make money out of arm wrestling. So, but the best way, the best pathway forward for most sports is either in Australia is gambling. We're the biggest gambling nation per capita in the world. I think it's something like 40% of the female population has placed a bet in the last 12 months. So it's a huge betting nation. So that's one way. Very very difficult to do that with a sport that borders on the amateur, where you don't have a formal professional associated system.
Correct.
It's very difficult at a local level. We don't run a lot of big tournaments where you make money out of those fees. That's not part of our arm wrestling culture. Not quite enough people in order to sustain that either. So what Matt and I have been working towards is creating a highly watchable version of the sport that is going to be attractive for a broadcaster, so that we can attract the sponsorship dollars into the organization that helps us put on higher quality programmable content, essentially, and not
Absolutely.
specifically for YouTube, but for free to air TV. Because if it's not on free to air TV, you can't attract the mainstream sponsorship that you need in order to put on really high quality events that are of that standard. There's lots of people doing different things. We also, like a lot of organizations now, outside of the East versus West ecosystem, there's not the pay-per-view model just does not work. No one's making any money out of that, not certainly to the extent that it'll cover the cost of their events. So from our perspective, it's chasing broadcasting so that we can attract sponsorship and keep going. And to do that, it's chicken and the egg. You need the money to do it, or to chase the money, you got to get the money. And so we've taken the view that we're going to create a great brand, a great product. We're going to experiment with formats, and then have something that is highly watchable, engaging for people that aren't arm wrestling fans. So the personality and the name of a Devon Larratt or whatever, it doesn't matter so much. And also in understanding that most sports watched not from home, but are actually watched in a communal environment, whether that's at a bar, or a pub, or something of that nature. And in other words, they're secondary watch sports. They're not primarily the focus of attention. And so creating a product that works well in that environment. So that's what we're chipping away at. And Matt's been a real innovator when it comes to the rule set, and his encyclopedic knowledge of the history of UFC has been really helpful, because there's a lot of those lessons that can be applied to our sport, and and I'm sure you had more than one of those conversations with Matt when he stayed with you. And I think you've had more than one of those conversations during this podcast, even. So that's what we're working on, and we're chipping away at that formula, because once that works really successfully, once that works, well, not even really successfully, but once that starts to
Catch on.
click for us, it affords us the opportunity to expand really rapidly, because the template's set, and not only that, but you find, like, when East versus West started to take off and move, at that point in time, you had king of the table, East versus West. Of course, they kind of mushed in together, but that was the formula, that was the template. So people that were wanting to run an arm wrestling promotion followed that template, and unfortunately, it was a failed business model. And a bit of a house of cards, as it turns out. And take Devon out of the equation, profitability becomes a bit of an issue. So the reality is that arm wrestling is still the Wild West. No one has locked into what will be the ultimate solution for making this sport grow and for creating the right platform. So there's still plenty of opportunity for somebody to work out what that template is, and once that's worked out, then people have gotten onto it across the world really quickly. And I think probably the person that's closest to doing this at the moment is Parvin Dabas in India. So Parvin and his team at Pro Punja League do an exceptional job with the production. They're on free-to-air TV. They've got tens of millions of people watching the sport, pushing the sport into the mainstream, attracting mainstream sponsorship dollars, where they've got motorcycle manufacturers, car manufacturers, appliance companies.
They probably have their government behind them too. If the government gets behind them, that's all you need.
Well, the government is one of their sponsors as well. So
there you go.
I think it's the Department of Sport and Culture, they call it, and so they're right behind it. So they've done that very, very successfully. So they're a good template for the rest of the world to look at. But the Western world, unfortunately, I shouldn't say unfortunately, the rest of the world is looking to East versus West, being the Premier League at the moment, and trying to kind of either emulate that or compete with that. And it's a little bit like trying to. I'm just trying to think of a comparable company in the United States, but it's like trying to compete with General.
It's like Ford, yeah, General Motors and Ford.
Like General Motors, like if you're going to try and compete with General Motors is a failed business model in itself. General Motors has been bankrupt 3 times. You don't want to do that, and that's why Tesla never did. So they never wanted to be another General Motors. Every other car manufacturer has attempted to be another General Motors, and so every other car manufacturer has essentially been borderline bankrupt for much of the last 30 years. Tesla wasn't that. So we're trying to be the Tesla of arm wrestling, I think, is what I'm trying to say.
let me just let me add into this, because I have to get back to work. Your model, I know, I'm sure Matt told you we were going to do a full power hour, and about 10 minutes in, all the guys were like, this is just, an hour is going to be too long. So we cut it down to a power half. We cut it down to a power half hour. And let me tell you, I still get people saying, and Dan Schwartz can say this too, that people love that style. I mean, again, just gotta have everything honed in, finalize everything. But the who's going to be the last one on the table, that was big on the left hand. Right hand, no, it was the left hand that Blake went 68-0. Blake went.
Wow.
So he did not have one loss. So in that aspect, the Canadian guys love that, and when they hear and they can't wait, because they want to do it again. I know Dan's going to run it again, I believe, at his event. And if the guys want to do it at my event, I'll throw some money down, because they love it. Do it a half hour. I'm going to keep it simple. You guys, have it dialed in. Fuck the strap. Put your hands up. Grip up. That's it. If you slip, next. Simple as that. Don't slip. Fuck the strap. Just go at it. You want the money, you got to hold on. That's it. That's and you know. But it's a little different. You guys are trying to make it. That's what your thing. So, but at the same time, it's a great principle. Stay on the
It's a
table till somebody fucking puts your arm on the pad. There's no. It has to hit the pad. Simple as that. If it doesn't hit, you didn't lose yet.
Yeah,
That's it.
there's no real new ideas in life. There's just the bringing together of all the old ones in the best possible way, and I think that's where we're at as a sport at the moment, and that's what's kind of exciting for us and for you guys as well, by the sounds of things.
Yeah, I love it, and it was definitely a fun time. Arm wrestling is just getting big, and I see you guys because it seems like Australia is, it's big, but like you said, there's not as many arm wrestlers per capita. So you
Mm.
guys can handle that hour because you guys are going to want to keep going. We get bored. We could do practice for an hour with, all these different guys. So
Yeah.
that's half the battle too. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to keep, like you said, you got to just keep it. I think shorter. I think that you don't want to do it long because you don't want people to lose interest, and that's kind of what the only piece of advice I would give you to. Just make sure people don't lose interest. If you're dead set on that hour,
Mm.
that
Well,
would be the only interest.
that's why we were also thinking the golden table and the gorilla, because like who's going to stop us in that?
I know you're going to get back to work, Dan, so we might wrap it up here. But thank you for joining
All
us
right.
here, even though you were able to sneak into the back room for a little while. We very much appreciate it. And also to Dave Stonebridge for jumping in as well. And we have a show later on today with Mario
Yes.
Kambarkas, who will be at the Last Man Standing event, one of the top guys in Australia and the Southern Hemisphere. So it will be great to chat with him. That will be 7 o'clock, I think. Is that what time we're doing it, Dave?
Mario or Brett? Brett Coots. I think we spoke to Mario the other day.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, it's Brett Coots. Oh
It is Brett Coots.
He's gonna break your
I
arm
love
now. He's gonna be
Mario.
mad at you now.
I don't know why I had in my head was Mario, but yeah. So Brett Coots, who has been on an absolute tear lately, beat Mato Warangi Heather Morris. He's beaten Rickard Bourneman on left arm. He's beaten Lachlan Adair on left arm, and he is just an absolute powerhouse. He will be at the.
We got to get him over. We got to get him on the Mac table. We got to get him over here.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
He would love it. All right. No worries. Well, thank you again, everyone in the stream. We will look at wrapping it up here, and we appreciate everybody's comments and you taking the time out to watch a show about.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, boys. I'll talk to you soon.